Yeah, we've been there before. Stories from the mud that you can't ignore. Laugh through the grit, yeah, we carry it proud. Cooties in the house, say it loud. Hospital halls to the game night crew, lifting up the vets, yeah, we do what we do. From hard days past to the mic tonight, we turn it up strong, ready to ignite. Hey, hey, sound off, let the stories roll. From the trench to the mic, yeah, we're heart and soul. Laugh a little louder, let the good times start. Cootie trench talk, straight from the heart. Hey, hey, Auxiliary, bring the fire and cheer. Standing with the vets year after year. Side by side, yeah, we play our part. Auxiliary spirit, heart to heart. Left, right, keep it moving strong. If you served your time, then you belong. Laugh, heal, yeah, we've earned that right. Now we bring that energy every night. Hey, hey, sound off, let the whole world hear. Cootie trench talk, coming in clear. You're in the trench now. Hey.
Welcome to Cootie Trench Talk and Auxiliary Spirit. I'm your host, Cootie Shadow, and I have my co-host, Author Ash here.
Hi, I'm on location.
Yeah, you are. Traveling around looking for little cootie bugs, and we're stopping
Yeah,
cars.
for sure.
We're stopping cars with your cootie bugs on the back and handing out $100 bills, are we not?
In the most cootie speak way I can say, yes, absolutely. That is exactly what we're doing.
Awesome. Just so everybody knows, make sure you got those cootie stickers on so you can get paid that $100.
I love it.
Anyways, welcome to the podcast. We have our special guests. We have our Supreme Seam Squirrel, Miss Tracy L. Woodman, M.L. Woodman, and we have our Supreme President, Miss Supreme President Dawn Van Tassel. Or I
Hello.
like to call her Mommy.
Oh my God.
It's $1.69 fine when you say that.
You can't say that, but I can.
Yeah,
Don't you say that.
it's daddy and mommy for sure.
Ah,
I'll be dad.
okay.
I'm
Well-
the dude. I'll be dad.
Well, let's start off, Ash. How was your weekend? What did you get into?
It was really great. I went to Chicago to visit with my sister. That's actually where we're headed back now, is home. And I got my 3 stepsons with us for the summer, which is the real reason why we went up there. And then we celebrated my nephew's birthday.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a good time. How was your weekend?
Well, I got to go out to the track. I got to push off my son a couple times. But I found myself jumping for joy, right? Because my son actually hit his target times, not once, but twice.
Yay.
And it's
That's
extremely
awesome.
impressive. So really, really pumped up about our race coming up Thursday. And yeah, it's intense. I'm ready though. And then, I do want to
Very
add
nice.
in, I have some notes from our producer here. As we all know, he went up to Iowa, right? And while he was up there, he installed the Grand in Iowa, which was his brother, I think. And then we have Iowa, Pup Tent number 30, Eager Beavers. They got reinstituted in Iowa, and he helped with the reinstitution, and that is actually their Pup Tent name all the way back from 52 to 83 before they had to surrender their charter. He said that he got to talk in front of the joint meeting of the Iowa department. And then while he was there, he got that old man syndrome with, hold on, I got that piece of wood, right? He got there. The CTG chairman, which we know that our producer's also the CTG chair for Virginia. Well, he got up there to Iowa, and they didn't have any CTG stuff. So he brought his stuff, and he set it up. And then he got to talking to Michelle Rathke. I think, did I say her name right?
You said her name right.
Okay. Sorry, Michelle. I just wanted to make sure I said it right. That's why I did that.
You spelled
But-
it wrong when you said it, but you said it right.
I might have, and that's okay. But So Michelle, she came in with like little to no notice that she was going to need to be attending this department convention, and she would have had to travel 3 hours the wrong way. And so that was that old man moment where he was like, "Hey, hold up, I got this." He goes in and he has everything he needs for the national home table and for his for the CTG table up there as well. Which with the CTG guy newly appointed, plus he didn't really have a setup because of the new appointment and everything. But anyway, who should I go through first? Tracy, how was your weekend?
Well, the weekend was actually at home. I did go to a craft fair and picked up some friends for Dawn. And then I made some more orders from this guy, which this is one of my buddies. You recognize
Ooh.
who this is, but this is Zytuk. I decided we had to name him other than being the Supreme Cootie or the Supreme Alien. And so this is one of my guys, but he also made these little guys that will be on sale as part of the Supreme Alien stuff that we'll get into later. But after department convention this weekend in Wisconsin, my husband and I are headed to Wyoming to talk to them at their department convention about starting some cooties up. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That actually sounds fun. I always like when I get to go and talk about how we can spread and multiply across our organization.
Yes.
Miss Van Tassel, how was your weekend?
Any weekend I get to spend with the grandbabies is top notch, and I had 5 of them surrounding me this weekend. So it was a pretty awesome weekend. It was Maverick's birthday. He turned 3, so I was up in Chicago with Ashton and Chris and the boys. And I'm going to kind of follow suit with what Tracy said. This coming weekend, I will be traveling to Georgia and attending the Georgia Department Convention and talking about setting up some Cootie auxiliaries there. So looking forward to that as well. We know that there's a lot of excitement in Georgia, so to be able to capitalize on the auxiliary side with that is just a great opportunity that I'm really looking forward to.
Well, I do know that I went to the current department commander, Bill Miles' institution of Pup Tent 22, the Red Velvet Ants, I do believe. And during their first scratch, they went ahead and approved of having an auxiliary. With that, I can say that I
Nice.
went directly to the next post or Pup Tent scratch that I had, and that went across our floor as well. So we're definitely wanting to see more auxiliaries, and it's gonna anything we can do to help our organization. It's kind of stupid not to go through with it. Um, I think that being able to bring my wife in and be able to say, "Hey, we can go to the do this hospital visit," and you know what I'm saying. We can do it as a family as well as the pup tent, and that's a lot more fun. And we're all about having fun, right?
All about having fun,
Yeah.
all about family. So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Well,
I would
and
love to see more expansion.
if it makes anyone out there who's a single MOC member, I interviewed someone for the Cootie Spotlight a couple months ago who met her husband being a cootie.
There you go.
They
That's
fell in love
actually
doing
pretty cool.
hospital visits.
That is awesome. So we do have a application. I want to just run right into that before we get going crazy, and then we can go into our sponsors and all that stuff. I have the list if you need me to go over it. But we have a Cootie of the month, and it's like fresh off the press, right? So Travail Brown out of Pup Tent 7 in the Grand of Kentucky. That's your home state, right, Ash?
It sure is.
They volunteered to be the hot gimlet for the upcoming year. They volunteer at all of the VFW, VFW Auxiliary, MOC, MOCA functions. They come to the Radcliffe Center, Veteran Center, in every visit, and frequently brings homemade sweet treats without asking for anything in return. She is definitely the definition of a Cootie 313. So that is amazing. Way to go.
Yeah, you know,
Lousy job.
lousy job.
They are definitely some dedicated members.
She is, and I have the honor of being able to see her at the RVC. And there's one veteran who, every time he sees her, he just lights up and tells her that she's just the most beautiful woman he's ever seen, and loves having her there. So she really does a great job.
That's awesome. So we have our sponsors are, of course, PC Race Shop. We have the VFW Foundation, Viking Bags. We have our partners, Helium, Omnic AI, Alexander PCs, Ranger Up Coffee, Streamlabs, G Fuel, Cootie Coffee, Combat Tested Gaming. And there was one more. Torch. Right? Torch. I think they're partner with the VFW. So what brings you guys on to our glorious lousy podcast here?
Well, I believe we're going to talk about the Supreme Special Project for 26-27, which is at the VFW National Home. And it is called the Veteran and Family Mental Health Wellness Program.
The Veteran Family Mental Health Wellness
Program.
That sounds very like complicated. It's a mouthful, absolutely. So, so that sounds like actually a really good topic. So, this is going to involve the families of the national home, right? There. How many? We just talked about this last week, or a couple weeks ago. I'm trying to remember how many people did we have on the national home. I think there's 43 houses. Is that correct? I might be mistaken.
You're right in the ballpark.
Yeah, it's around that. So you're engaging with almost half 100, 50 people or 50 families. You're going to be working with. So what is this program?
So it's designated to support the emotional, psychological, and social well-being of, believe it or not, veterans and their families. I know we kind of cheated on that and put it in the title.
That yes,
And
I'm shocked.
I can see where the wording came from.
So the program goals. Dawn, did you want to talk about the program goals?
I can. There are a few goals to improve mental and emotional well-being for veterans and family members. This is also supposed to, or will help encourage strengthening the family relationships, and that'll be through shared therapeutic activities. Reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, trauma, and stress, again through these therapies. They're going to, one of the goals is to promote resilience, confidence, and self-regulation, and then also to increase access to supportive services. So this is a broad program with some big goals.
Right. So what are some of the, what is it like? What are some of the potential therapies that they're going to be utilizing?
Okay, so they're going to do equine therapy. They're all hands-on therapeutic. So equine therapy, art and creative expression, outdoor and natural-based activities, regenerative farming and agricultural skills, and then skill building workshops.
Outstanding. And I'm trying to remember where, I think we had Robbie on last week, and I'm pretty certain that he had said that it was going to be like if you're sitting at home plate on Cootie Field, right? We all can imagine where that's at. If I'm looking straight to the woods, that's exactly where the regenerative gardening is going to be. And then the road that kind of cuts back is where the horses and equine therapy is, or is it over towards the lake more?
No, so the equine therapy is actually off property. They do not have any horses on property at this time. That is a huge undertaking. We were talking about that in February. Right now, they've got a partner where they are taking the families to that farm and doing the equine therapy at the farm. So it's the name escapes me, and I apologize. By the end of the podcast, hopefully I'll remember it. The equine therapy portion is off property.
Okay. Does this? I'm certain that. So that means that the VFW National Home does not have the act. They don't own the horses. Then.
No, right now they don't have the facilities to keep horses. So that's why I said that's going to be a more longer term commitment if they decide to go that way.
I got you. And a horse is something that can live to be 40 years old. Horses can live to be very, very, very old. And that's not something that you want to invest into and just drop. So I understand the need to see if this is something that's valuable. I'm hoping that the organization or who is taking care of the equestrian portion of the therapies being compensated, but also we're trying to take care of veterans that are in need. So
Exactly. And I don't know if you know, but if I'm in horses, that's been my business for many years.
Kentucky, what? No,
I know, right? Crazy. And all I can say is the best way to become a millionaire in the horse industry is to start out a billionaire. So we've had some real good conversations with National Home about that. So it's a big commitment. It definitely is. So they're going to go about it slowly, but at least be able to partner with this other farm in order to get some equine therapy going on. And it is incredibly beneficial.
I have actually been a recipient of a form of equine therapy, and I can say that my confidence and my understanding has changed since I went through that session. And session was done prior to COVID, and it was through Saratoga Warhorse, where they brought us in Aiken, South Carolina, and we took a horse that was like a racehorse that was confined for forever, and we had to break the horse while we were in the little carousel or whatever it is. And it was very, very, because the horse is like 5 times my weight, right? It could easily step all over you and trample you and turn you into a bunch of bugs and squished, right? So I definitely was a little worried about getting, just destroyed by this horse, because he could. But his name was Jack, and I'll tell you, I remember that Jack, right? It was super cool actually getting to work with that horse, and I was learning to trust humans just like he was. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of it's mind altering. It gets you a different perspective, and that's one of the blessings of equine therapy. It forces that.
It does. And I don't want to I mean, of course, I am very connected to the equine therapy world. But the program that is our joint program for the VFW National Home is much more than just equine therapy.
Right.
So if you know me, I can talk forever about history, horses, or the Cooties and the Cootie Auxiliary. But I don't want to get too far out with equine therapy, because there are some other really good programs, are aspects to this program at National Home. So
Absolutely.
I can keep on yapping about horses all you want.
Absolutely. Thank
Well,
you.
You guys mentioned the arts program part of it. Do you have any more information
Yeah.
on that one?
Yes.
Just because I know from working with the Radcliffe Veterans Center, a lot of the veterans were pleasantly surprised how much they liked doing all of like the painting and activities that I would do with them. So that seems like it would also be super beneficial.
So the art and creative expression therapy covers painting, drawing, sculpting, and journaling. They're going to do family art workshops to encourage bonding and trauma-informed creative sessions led by a trained facilitator. So those are the PowerPoints within that section.
That is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to implement the program. How soon are we going to start seeing some of these the programs, I guess, being utilized? Like, when are we going to start seeing some of these families start going to the national home, the national homes, equine therapy, or the art, or whatever they're using for their therapies?
So some of this stuff is already things that they're doing. For instance, in either the outdoor or the regenerative farming, was like the bees, where we had the bee program last year.
Yeah.
And then the
Absolutely.
regenerative farming is also to help the bees, so it's creating different things within the farming that the bees might be interested in. So some of this stuff is already in process.
You're just adding more to build it up better.
Right. We're making it an official program for the Cooties to support.
Nice.
Very
And
nice.
that's super cool.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I just saw this, that we have 5 gifted subs on Twitch from an anonymous. Thank you so much for that.
Yes, thank you.
And we have, okay. I'm getting sidetracked here. I apologize. So we have both of you ladies here, and I know that the first time you guys came on, this was about a month ago or so, we had talked about how there was a challenge. As far as I know, the Comrades Cootie Challenge side is done, but the MOCA, they're going all the way up until actually the convention. So the Supreme Convention, we're taking donations for the Camp Alma. That's the name of the organization in Oregon. And you guys, how much money have we raised so far?
So at last check, we were sitting at, okay, forgive me, I haven't talked to Georgine lately, but I know we were sitting at like that, I want to say $13,000 to $14,000 range. And that's for both National Home and Camp Alma. Those were David's 2 special projects. So on the auxiliary side, we do a hospital-based Supreme President special project, as well as a National Home special project. And I know that the funds are still coming in for both of those. I definitely have to go sledding, and we would really like to see those guys go as well.
That's right. And
So I'm just saying, I volunteered impromptu without really telling the Supreme President that I was going to do it. If you come find me at convention and you give me money and say, hey, this is to go watch those men sled down in kilts, I will make sure it gets to the right person.
that's right.
I will have a table. Come find me. I will be more than happy. Scott and Ronnie and Robbie slide down that hill in kilts.
So at the Supreme Convention
So
and at the VFW convention, right? Because you'll have the MOC table set up out there. Can somebody come by and do that?
Yes, I will be at the
Yes.
MOC table for as much time as I possibly can. So you should be able to catch an auxiliary member at that table pretty much for the whole time they're set up.
Now, you hear that, right, Tracy? We got to make sure Wayne understands that all the money that's coming to the table doesn't necessarily have to go to the Cooties, but it is going to the Cooties because it's going to watch Scott come down that hill in a kilt.
Mm-hmm.
In a kilt.
So Wayne doesn't run the table anymore. We, when I became junior vice, we had it set up where the quartermaster does it instead of the adjutant. So that way the Cooties have access to buy some stuff from the Cootie store.
That makes sense. It's not just
But
about
I saw
membership.
somewhere recently after the MOCA Zoom that it said that we did get the $20,000 that we needed for the kilt ride.
Really?
However, I'm not finding
Wow.
that. Yes, I'm not sure where they put that on the page, but I did see somewhere that it because it reported that I was doing it, and I was like, that was supposed to be the 3 guys that were in the kilts, not. And then they put on there that it was dresses, not kilts. So I'm not sure where that is, but I'm trying to find it.
I would love to see that, and it is dresses, but they're opting for kilts. So we'll see if we can convince somebody to put on my. I've got a ladybug not taffeta, tulle type skirt. I don't know what the actual name for it is, but yes. Oh, look, we got somebody saying shh because he's riding down the hill in his skirt.
That's so funny. But you know what? That's amazing because that's actually the Cooties coming together to really put effort where it needs to be to help veterans. And you know what? It's a program that not one person at the Supreme level knew about before David said, I want this organization to receive these benefits. No one at the Supreme organization had any clue what Camp Homa was. It's an under the
Right.
radar. They come in, they get this boost of assistance. That's just amazing.
Yeah.
Now I know, like you said, that your program split, but I really think that both Eric and Dave would both be extremely proud of us. Straight talk, right?
Yeah.
Extremely proud of us with what we've been able to do this year, in lieu of the tragedy that we've all had to suffer.
I think it's an amazing way to show respect to those 2 amazing guys. And if I could plug Camp Alma for just a quick second,
Absolutely.
one of the things that really, really impressed me about what they do is they try and head off addiction, whether it be drugs or alcohol addiction, before it causes homelessness. And to me, that was one of the big things. If we can prevent homelessness in veterans through an intervention type therapy where they can come out here to a farm and learn other ways to deal with what their stressors are.
Right.
It's saving them from going homeless. So to me, that part of Camp Alma is just an amazing thing, and it's so needed. I would love to see their program imitated across this country. So very, very worthy program. The more I've learned about them, the more impressed I've become with them.
Is there anything that you know of that's anything like that around where you're at?
No, not here. Not here. This is the only program that I know of. With living in Nashville for the few years that I lived in Nashville, I will say that homelessness is something that really pulls at my heartstrings. It's something I definitely see myself volunteering more for. I haven't done a lot of research yet, but in what I know right now, I can't come up with anything else like Camp Alma.
Are you near a VA hospital?
Yes.
Okay,
are.
so it's very similar to us too. Where my post is, they are about 10 minutes south of what the VA regional hospital is, like the main hospital. So we're really close to it. And they said that in the county, Rowan County, where Salisbury's thing is, the statistic is that over 80% of the homeless are veterans.
Oh my gosh.
80%, over 80.
I would never have thought of it as that high. That is definitely something that needs fixed.
And you can't go down this street at any given point of the day, any day of the week, where you won't see homelessness impact in either on a given street or in an encampment in right off of the highway. It's extremely sad to see this. And
Wow.
I personally know that there are programs that are out there to help veterans that are homeless. Um, I had a I'm going to have to get back to the audience here and get a name because I don't want to give the wrong name, but we had a comrade who came into the combat tested gaming group, right? And he actually works with the VA and homelessness. Um, his name is just skipping my mind, but you know, he talks about all the programs that people can get in and they can use to, you just got to make that connection with the VA. And you know what? A lot of times people don't want to listen to that or whatever the VA is going to have to tell them, you know, but they're going to have to do that if they're wanting to continue to grow and continue to help themselves.
I was going to say, I do have to tell a little bit on California because when I was there last year, they took us to a tiny homes community where they were building for veterans. And it was behind a gate and everything so that they were secure and they had a community center. It was gorgeous.
I had a guy that came through and gave a proposal. This might have been at Eastern Conference when it was in New Jersey. That's got some reason standing out. Like they would have had a table and they were talking about how they were building these communities. And like the guy was telling me you could go on Amazon and buy a house for like $20,000. And it's like made out of almost like a container. And they're dime a dozen and you can house a veteran in there for a long time. I forget who that was. It was a nonprofit, not a nonprofit, but it was a for-profit.
Okay, so to get back to this is the screenshot that was sent to me. $20,000 raise, and like I said, they do have to correct it. $20,000 raise, Supreme Seams Girl Commander Tracy Woodman, past Supreme Commander Robbie Norman and Ronnie Steele, which we know that this is supposed to be stat on that list.
That is correct.
Will be double the fund by riding down the hill in a dress.
Well, we have some amazing Cootie and Cootie Auxiliary members out there to donate that much. How amazing is that? Y'all need to give yourselves a hand for sure. Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
And for Scott,
Truly lousy work.
we're gonna have to get some, what's that stuff called, the burn cream, that way that when they get done they can put it on their boo-boos for the back of their legs.
I love it.
On their tushies.
Go to the National Home Christmas.
That would be great. Let's put a plug in there. Come to National Home Cootie Christmas and watch this take place, guys. Make your plans now.
That's right.
Now, there is one reason why it wouldn't happen, and that's if it's inclement weather, right? But there is a backup.
Yes.
And what's the backup?
So the backup plan, if there is no snow for Cootie Christmas, the backup plan would be for this to take place at the February board meeting. And we've been assured that there will be snow in Michigan on one of those dates.
If not, we will just continue it until it finally happens.
That's right.
Nobody's getting off the hook.
Nobody, not even me. I am actually excited now. The fact that we hit that $20,000 mark, I am excited to be able to do this in Dave's honor and of course Eric's honor as well.
Well, you know, it's a whole lot easier when you got Scott to go with you, you know?
No, because he'll be just as cold as me. How am I going to get warmed up? I won't have his body heat.
I was thinking it would just be fun to go down with Scott. Like,
No, no, he won't want to be by me because I'll be complaining about being cold.
I was gonna say, have you met Scott? I'm just checking.
I have, but a lot of people haven't. And Scott is a terrible guy in Cootie slang.
Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible.
We love him.
Yes, and it's really cool that, like you said, we've raised this money and it's all going to a wonderful organization no one had any idea about, and they have a very unique niche that they're able to provide this assistance prior to it really causing some upheaval and some stress, and it's a way to declutter a veteran's life, really, if you can catch it and nip it before it gets too bad. As we see, my co-host keeps coming in and out.
She's on location.
She is on
She must have-
location.
She must be handing out those $100 bills.
That's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
that's what it is. She just got out to hand out another $100 bill.
Absolutely. It's definitely not a really bad cell service coming. It should be like 5 minutes before we reach the destination, and then I'll be on for good. It's just the back roads of Kentucky are not great for cell phone reception.
No way, really?
No, shocker. Every one of us should be completely surprised.
Oh, wow,
Mhm.
that is something. So I have a question for everybody, right? We are the ones who are at the top of the top for the MOC, right? We are looked upon as you guys, the supreme team and the supreme president. What are some things that you like to do to cheer up those veterans when you go into their home, or when you go into I said their home, I was assuming veteran home, but you could also go into a nursing facility or go visit someone in a rehab facility, or just visiting with a veteran. But
So,
Miss Tracy.
I'd say before I get into that, I just want to, while we're talking about veterans and stuff, earlier today, while we were at the hospital with one of the grandbabies, Wayne went and checked in on a veteran to see how he was doing, because we hadn't heard from him in a while, and he's in our pup tent, and his door was wide open, and nobody was in his house. So that definitely was a red flag, and it took us a while, but we did track him down, and he is in the hospital. When his son left this morning, they forgot to close the door behind. They were in a hurry, but the veteran was actually on the ground for almost 12 hours before his son found him. And so that's just some of the things that Cooties do, and it was an impromptu hospital visit today to check in on him. And so if you're thinking about him, his nickname is Woody, and he has pancreatic cancer, and it doesn't look like he'll be around for a whole lot. So just to keep him in your thoughts and stuff. And I'd say, getting to your question, we like bringing stuffed animals, like little tie animals, to them, and a lot of veterans look forward to those now. Like our Pup Tent is known for having those, so they're like, "Hey, who's my new little buddy for a while? Where's my pet?"
Right.
And but believe it or not, just listening is one of those easy things that you can do to just make them feel welcome. Some of them want to will talk your ear off. So it's anything you can do to connect with that veteran.
Right.
So
what about
if
you, Miss
want me
Dawn?
to jump in.
Yes, Miss Dawn.
Exactly what Tracy said. So we do a lot of visits at the Radcliffe Veterans Center, and we've got a private facility here also that we tend to do visits at as well. And when you've got veterans who are in the hospital, which it's about an hour and 15 minutes from us to get to the VA hospital. So the Veterans Center is in our literally in our backyard.
Yeah.
But those veterans at the hospital, for the most part, they're going to go home to their families when they get over their illness. God willing, they're going to go home to their families. But when you look at the veterans who are in a nursing facility, that is their home from then on. They're there.
That is. That's
Some
their
of them
house.
get to go out exactly. Some of them get to go out on outings, but some of them don't. They're stuck there. And I hate to use that word stuck there, but they don't have that ability to just get up and go because they want to. And so for me, that's always very important to visit my nursing homes. Some of those veterans never get a visitor. Their families are either gone or admitted. And I don't know if I am breaking
You're
out.
fine. You're fine.
Sorry. And I have good service. Oh, I lost my thing. Now you're seeing my messy background. But anyway, they don't get any visitors. And so by going there and being able to visit with them, let them know they're not forgotten. Let them know that someone cares. That's so important. Someone cares. I don't think I shared this on the first podcast, so I'm going to share it now because this was a gut-wrenching experience for me on our last visit. We were playing bingo. We had Cootie bingo going on. Everybody having a good time. There was a newer veteran there, and it came time to take them all back to their living quarters. And this man was not happy. He was what I would call a grumpy old man, and he made sure everybody knew he was grumpy. And I was just trying to engage him in a conversation, and I was asking him where he wanted me to take him, as in which section of the Veteran Center. And he's like, I want to go home. Or no, I'm sorry. He said he wanted to go, well, insert a town name. I won't give the town name. And I said, well, I can't take you there, but I can, get you to your room. I can visit along the way, those kinds of things. And I tried getting him to lighten up the whole way back. And he's just talking about how nobody comes to visit him, different things like that. So I get him it's lunchtime. So I get him to the table for lunch, and I'm bound and determined I'm going to get a smile from this man, right? I'm just going to say I did not. Instead, he brought me to tears as soon as I walked away. I knelt down beside him and I asked him, I said, I want to bring you something from home, something to help you make it easier, to make you smile. And he said, okay, bring me a gun. And I looked at him and I said, what? And he said, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't like it here. It crushed me, So when I go back, I guarantee you he is going to be showered with whatever I can bring him. It's the only thing he gets, and we've got to bring some peace to him and some happiness in that place where he's living now. That's what's important to me. So it's again, never going back to how they remember it once they're there. So yeah, just try and bring them a piece of home.
That's a very good thought or perspective. There you go. That's a very good perspective, is to remind yourselves that, this is where these guys live. This is their home. If, just like I called that first barracks room a home, right? Which you guys are familiar with what barracks are. But if you can imagine that first barracks room for a sailor, a soldier, a Marine, whatever, they can see that they can see the value in, this is where I place my head. And they've received that, and it's always been that. I mean, even down to the youngest guys, right? Youngest children. The children, when you raise your kids, you make sure that they understand that this is their bed, this is their room, this is their space. And it's comforting all the way from when we were nurtured as children, that we have a place that we get to go at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if
That's
their
one of
place
the-
is miserable, we need to bring it in where they can smile and be cheerful.
It's one of the things that we really, I feel like I have a unique perspective because I used to work at the Radcliffe Veterans Center. Um, but that was one of the things that we tried to do, especially now that I'm not working there, is when we bring bingo prizes, bringing stuff that makes their places feel like homes, because they do have a room that has its own bathroom. A lot of the veterans, their spouses will come in and decorate for them. We have one veteran there who his wife comes in every like holiday and does up his room, and it's like obscure holidays that she'll find. So like once a month it's changing for him, because that's what she does at their house. So why wouldn't she come over here and do it for him in his space as well, so he still feels like he's home with her? And so when we were trying to come up with like bingo prizes or stuff that we're bringing them, it's very much what can we bring and what can we do that'll make them feel more at home in their space. And the other thing is we do little shadow boxes outside of their doors. So instead of like nameplates, it's this little shadow box. It has stuff that means stuff to them. It's dual purpose. One, it makes them feel more like home because it's a way to decorate your like mailbox, almost is what I would almost liken it to. But the other thing is that it, for the dementia patients, it has reminders of who they are. It has mementos, whether that's one of the patients there, it's his nameplate from when he was a general. So he knows that that's his, because that's his room, that's his plaque, so that has to be his room. So it helps with that as well, and having bingo prizes that allows them to even decorate that is huge. So I feel like if we are, and I think it's Minnesota that does dollars as well, and I think that that's incredible too. When you're doing bingo, is giving them money so they have money for like vending machines. They can, still spoil their grandchildren. But if money is not an option and you want to do prizes, stuff that they can decorate their homes with, and surprisingly toiletries. The veterans there loved the Old Spice like shampoo and conditioner kits with the body wash. Loved being able to not smell like soap.
Yeah, get you some like cucumber melon pump sprays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or here's one that's probably pretty good. What if you could have little
Not like a candid moment.
Right.
sorry, Mom.
That'll be a fine.
I was gonna say that counts, doesn't it?
Mommy.
We heard it counts.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. 69 cents.
I know.
Where are you at, Ashton?
I'm currently in my stepdad's office.
Nice recovery.
But no, we stopped here because it's on the way home, and it was just we'd have better reception. But I have my 3 stepsons, and I'd rather they not be on camera, so I had to go make sure that it was private. I could see their shadows from her door.
Well, you had one come in behind you.
Yeah,
and
I saw that too. Yeah.
And you were like, not today.
Yep. I was like, hold on, I love you, buddy. You can't be on camera.
Not today.
Anyway, yeah.
So when you have, this is going to be difficult to stay on touch now. Here we go. No, wow, that was a really, really desettling there.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. With the scents though, a lot of places, and this is also coming from someone who worked their perspective, if it's electric or if it has a flame, a lot of times they're not allowed that if it plugs into the wall, because it could potentially be an electric hazard. However, the potpourri bags that you can get at like Walmart and Dollar General, and there's like the incense stuff where it's like an oil and then you put the sticks in, those are also completely fine. We did for Christmas 2 years ago, we got the potpourri bags. And some of them still say that they're still going strong today. And I mean, it's been 2 years since we've delivered a refresher for them. And it allows them to have their room smelling not as clinical.
Right.
So they do like that as well.
Homemade, less clinical.
Yep.
Are they allowed to decorate their doors?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You could probably come up with some cool little door decoration stuff in there. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I was a huge proponent of, to bring us back to next year's special project, a huge proponent of arts and crafts. think that it's a great way to express yourself. And I feel like our veterans, especially the veterans there, need to have a healthy form of expression since, well, to be fair, most of the unhealthy forms are taken away from them. So I would do a lot of arts and crafts stuff, and seeing a lot of the veterans hang up their art in their homes was just incredible. We had one who never missed a session, and sure enough, when you walked in, his whole wall was nothing but his paintings.
That's
That's awesome.
impressive.
Yeah, and I will be right back.
Okay.
We lost her again.
It's okay. She's been here, there, this whole.
Here, there, everywhere. Hey, maybe she pulled
She
somebody
is
over to
on
another-
station. Yo, did you guys have a cootie bug on the back of your car? You might want to check if she's handing out $100 bills. That's all I'm
Right?
saying.
That's what I was just gonna say. There's a cootie bug on the door, so now here's your $100.
Yeah, good job. No, that one of the reasons I ask is that hospital work is so important to us, and I think that it's important to get different ideas because what you do at your hospital visits and what I do at my hospital visits are different,
Right.
and sometimes it's based off of what finances my pup tent may or may not have, or things that may or may not be readily available in this area to me or to a pup tent or whatever. Or maybe I've never thought of doing it like that. Or, maybe I can show you something new. And I really believe that actually bringing all of us together, having the auxiliary and the MOC actively talking about different stuff, even though that is an activity we're supposed to be doing together, it's very important that we have that conversation where we can talk about and say, hey, you know what? Have you guys ever tried this? Oh, I love it. So like one of the things that I started doing a few years ago when I went, and they had just started coming out with all these zero sugar things, right? But this was before everything had the zero sugar. And one of the first things that I noticed was the soft Werther's Original zero sugars. And I used to take those in there to them. And the reason I do that is because the nurses would never give me shit. Sorry. They'd never give me problems for carrying around, sugar-free candy to their patients. But I still would check in with them. But I would not get flack like, hey, I have a whole bunch of Tootsie Rolls. You mind if I give these out to these? No, that they might be all right with Tootsie Rolls, but definitely not Snickers bars.
So you were talking about ideas. I know there's a pup tent in Missouri that has their name and a critter embroidered on little blankets, like the blankets that you get for under $10 at Walmart, those kind of blankets. Ohio gives out ditty bags with different things in it, and so that was kind of cool to see some of their other ideas as well. Minnesota at Veterans Day, they give everybody the little heart candies with a little thing that says, love you from the Cooties, basically. Sticker on it. So those are some of the ideas that they do. And I know they also do their venison feed. So they bring in a venison dinner.
That's what I was going to say, because I believe it was Tiny, right? Didn't Tiny the one that had the, it's like a venison, it looks like a sheriff's badge.
Right. So it was Lenny, and then we lost Lenny Gunmanson from Minnesota, but yeah, Tiny has them also from Minnesota, and so do a few of the other guys.
Yeah, I bought in one. I have one on my cover for sure. But for the venison, that's a really cool little program that they're doing.
Yes.
And I can't remember how many people he said he feeds. It's a lot.
There's
It
a
is
lot.
a lot.
There
Well,
is
they
a
do
lot.
it at
Like
multiple
5,000 people or something crazy. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when you're venison and you go, oh yeah, I feel like family. Too. No, it's a lot of people he's feeding. And
Yes, it is.
let's see. Anybody else have any? Like, you guys ever see anything that's like really unique?
Yeah, I will tell you one of the things. This 25 was my second year of doing it. And Ashton has helped also, was the decorating the Christmas trees. They have multiple wings at the Veterans Center. And so it is, I mean, it can be a 2-day plus thing to get all these trees decorated. Some might say I'm a little bit of a perfectionist with Christmas trees, but the point is just sitting there and just decorating. And the guys and we do have a couple ladies at the Veteran Center now too. They haven't followed me around when I'm decorating. They'll just come out randomly and just sit and have conversation, and the stories they tell from the Christmases long past, it's really a neat experience. So if you don't do that, that is another thing that really is heartwarming to be able to do.
And if you're not like my mother, who sees the meager tree decorations and goes, "Oh, we can do better than that," and then goes and buys more, it is also cheap and relatively free to just be like, "Hey, I'm sure you guys have decorations. I am willing to volunteer my time to put them together. You give me the materials and I will put them up, and that way you guys aren't having to worry about it, and you're now in there doing something not only for the center or the hospital, but you're also able to communicate with those veterans, because they do love." I found playing Christmas music and singing while you're doing it will bring them to you. We had one who just wanted to listen to the music and sing with us, and that was all he did. Was he just sang with me while I decorated the tree, and that was our time together, and that's all he wanted. And it costs $0 to go in there and decorate those Christmas trees. Or some of them will have Halloween. The center that we volunteer at pretty heavily, they do a trunk or treat where they get volunteers from the community to come in. And our VFW post actually works with us, and our VFW Auxiliary works with us as well. We have like 3 or 4 vehicles. The Auxiliary and the post are the ones who brought the candy. And since I'm going to go on ahead and give myself credit, I'm the point of contact for the vast majority of my post there. So the Cooties got the credit for being the ones who spread the news. We got the post to donate the candy, and we just dressed up in costumes and had a grand old time. Let me phrase that. I dressed up in costume. We are going to dress up in costume this year when we do it again. But they bring out the veterans, they set them out to where they just borrow our trunks, and then they hand them out to candy. You get a couple of veterans.
All the kids come, and that is so cool.
For the entire community knows about it. Yep.
That is
so
dope.
Their grandkids, the employees' kids, the entire community, the VFW had people who were just bringing their kids to come by, and the veterans get such a kick out of it. I had one that I was partnered with 2 years ago, who every time I would give a kid candy, I was trying to like ration it out, 2-3 pieces. He'd go, "Give him a handful." So at the time, I mean, I had to fill his bucket like 10-15 times because he was just instructing me to give the children as much candy as I possibly could.
Right.
Definitely have to plan ahead.
Yeah, plan ahead. Bring lots of it. But the center also has, they pick up candy donations like a month in advance from all of their employees and stuff. So they have candy as well. So if you can't bring candy, most of the time it'll also be in a bucket for you to, the coworker or the workers there will make sure that the veterans who are at your trunk have candy to hand out.
And as a parent who has a child who he's growing out of Halloween, okay, he might do it again this year, probably not. If he does, it'll surprise me. But he is like, we were so worried about where he was getting his candy and all of this. And I'll tell you what, when you take that aspect out of Halloween, it makes it enjoyable as a parent. And you can do that. Like you're saying, the VFW is doing it through the, or assisting the MOC and everybody, MOCA, the VFW Auxiliary. You're coming together as an entire post and Pup Tent to really make a change in these veterans' lives. I mean, I never would have crossed my mind that, you can get these elderly veterans engaged with the community if we give them candy to hand out to the house. Dude, old people love kids
so much.
And you know who doesn't go into old folk homes? Kids, unfortunately.
And you know that they love having them. When we go Christmas caroling and bring kids in with us, the veterans eat those babies up. They really do. Well, okay, maybe I shouldn't use that wording.
We are not talking about cannibalism here.
Negative on the cannibalisms.
Easter parties. See if you can sponsor an Easter egg hunt. I'm sure as parents, a lot of us have empty Easter eggs that we can, borrow. Fill those up. That's the other thing the Veteran Center does here with us is they do Easter egg hunts where the veterans help hide the Easter eggs, and then they help the kids find the Easter eggs. And most of the time, I know the one at our center is more coworkers and grandkids based. But see if they don't do one already in your area, see if you can sponsor one and then open it up to the VFW and your Pup Tents kids. Because I mean, if they don't already have grandkids, all of them still just love to spoil with grandchildren aged children. And even if they do have grandchildren, maybe their grandchildren don't come to see them very often. Maybe they're out of state, bringing kids around, absolutely positively mood changing.
Yep.
It
So when
is.
you guys-
And go
I
ahead.
was
Sorry,
say, when
Trey.
you guys were talking about decorating, my brain went to having a special Target ornament. Like, can you find the special ornament we snuck on your tree?
Ooh,
I like that.
We might have to do that this year.
Yeah.
I like
Say,
that a
even
lot.
if you do it like,
Yeah.
one in the season or maybe one a month, depending on how long.
Do
the
like a
season-
cootie ornament that they have to find on the tree.
Ashton. The other thing is at the Radcliffe Veteran Center, each section has a different themed tree.
Mhm.
You could take an ornament and like rotate it around so they've got one ornament from the wrong tree.
Which
and
one is
see-
it?
Yeah, yeah. And
That'd
then
be
then that
cool.
would give them a reason to go to the other wings
Yeah.
and see the other trees as well.
Yeah.
I'm liking it. I'm liking
I like that
it.
a lot.
And that
And-
is how we communicate with each other and come up with new ideas across the states.
Exactly.
Very much so.
All right, so I'm going to put a directive out there to those people who are in the chat. Let's hear some of your ideas, guys. Put those in the chat out there.
All right, let's pull up the chat. Do we have the chats up?
I'm checking Facebook.
All right, you got Facebook. I will
I got
pull up the Twitch.
And that's only because my dad was fussing at me for using his office.
All right.
So I heard from Ronnie, who is in Virginia, and he said, when I worked at the Naval Hospital, they had a holiday tree up that stayed year round and was changed to represent the current holiday.
Oh,
We had one of those at our VFW post. They got tired of putting it away when we stopped taking it out and putting it away, and so now they just leave it up and change the decorations.
there's a nonprofit that's around here, and it's called the Trees of Valor. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. They were at Southern Conference, and then they also went up to the New Jersey Convention Center. But anyway, we had when we were we would have them come through the post, and they've set up at our department conventions a few times. But the lady, she has a tree, and she will honor the tree like it'd be like a normal Christmas tree, but she'll have pictures of fallen soldiers, and it might be from a unit. She did one for like the USS Cole, and it had one tree for the whole unit. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that idea a lot.
Oh, that reminds me, when we were in Washington a couple weekends ago, they took me to one of the local VAs, and they had a submarine picture on one of their bulletin boards, and it was like a giving tree. So you would take off like one of the ships or one of the missiles or one of the whatevers, and it was something that veteran wanted, and then you would just bring it back with that.
Oh, I like that too.
Oh, I like the giving tree. Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of a giving tree, but it was a like a naval submarine and airplanes and
Yeah.
photo.
There's
Yeah.
I actually encourage a lot of, comrades, cooties, don't be afraid to share information, because we wouldn't have any of the ideas that we got running through our head right now if we wouldn't have started talking about it. So,
Right.
and seizing the time, don't be like, oh, well, this person definitely doesn't want to talk about that, because you know what? If it's going to change a veteran's life, it's probably worth talking about. Just saying.
So when I interviewed Jim out of Minnesota, That's one of the things he said that he does is he scours Facebook looking for ideas that other cooties and cootie auxiliaries are doing. And I mean, it's the great way to bring something new and refreshing to your own auxiliary or your own pup tent. And you can, what works in, and I'm going to pull a fundraiser out instead of hospital work. The red and white gala that they do in Delaware. I mean, that's brilliant. I love it. And I have seen that kind of moving through the rest of the cooties now. I've seen a couple people having.
There's
regular
one in
dinner.
Houston,
Exactly.
Alan Perkins, ASP.
Yep.
Yeah. So by by getting some communication out, going through social media, if you're not already on our Facebook page, make sure that you like the official Facebook page, because there's all kinds of ways to really freshen up what you're doing. I mean, we all get in ruts. We all have our ups and downs. And just by taking what other people are doing and making it your own, you can really freshen up and revitalize your own pup tents and auxiliaries. So
Well, and
social media is a great way to do that.
not just the Supreme page, absolutely follow it, but I think I'm following conservatively 30, 45 pup tents and auxiliaries that are from the local or the grand level. Because y'all are posting what you're doing, and it's great ideas for me. I'm a local president right now, and anything I can get to help is absolutely important. And to answer your question from earlier about the chat suggesting hospital stuff, Dad said, I know this sounds simplistic, but just sitting down and talking to the residents makes their day. Don't assume they don't want to talk.
Right.
Which is huge, because some of them will look like they don't want to talk to you, but the second that you sit down, they're chatterboxes, or they just want to listen to you talk.
I've never met Dad before, but are you?
I think that's $1.69 fine too.
No, I didn't call him Daddy.
I heard it right there. Oh man,
Be a little awkward.
very. But no, that is like some of the best ideas are going to come from, communicating, talking. I mean, like the whole sugar-free candy thing. I'd pass that on to somebody else who was like, I had no idea they had this stuff. And like I said, it was before it was everywhere. There were only like a select candies that actually had the sucralose chemical or whatever, alcohol or whatever it is that makes it sweet.
Talking about stalking other pages, I have to tell on Colorado, the current Grand Commander who just got installed 2 weekends ago, he was telling me that he was stalking everybody's pages to come up with ideas for him to do at the Grand Convention. The outgoing commander was in a car accident a month or so ago and is still in recovery. So we did do a hospital visit to go see him and everything. But yeah, he was saying that he stalked everybody's pages to see what they should do, and they kept us busy for most of the weekend while we were there. Yeah. So we did visited a couple cemeteries, we checked out the VA, we checked out the Fisher House in the area, did that hospital visit as well, and so we were just busy.
Yeah.
We were talking about fundraising for just a little bit ago, talking about the Red and White Gala and how that kind of has shifted. Something that went away, and North Carolina is bringing it back, is the fundraiser booster pins. So if you guys remember how that worked, is you weren't buying a pin from someone. Like everybody's always like, hey, oh, that's a cool pin you got there, especially, no offense to the auxiliary, we love you guys, but the auxiliary is normally a commander's like, here's my pin, take 5, right? And the auxiliary is more like, how about $3? You got $3? I'll give you the one off my, you know what I mean? Like
$4.
$4. That's what I'm saying. But the comrades are like, take 5. You know what I mean? So, but that wasn't what these were. The pins were, the booster pins were, you got this pin that represents that you donated $10 to this whatever. And we have my Pup Tent has um, an orphanage about a mile and a quarter away from our post, and we have basically just taken them in, and we are doing a Christmas party for them. And it's always like, hey, there's 50, like, and they are middle school and through high school, like children. And so, like, when I go, hey, all the veterans gave you a $25 gift card to whatever. I mean, that doesn't really sound that good versus like, hey, these guys came in, they, because I'd mentioned the game night and stuff like that, going up there and actually sitting down and playing games with these kids, and then doing a meal for them, and like actually having like a Christmas meal and a Christmas like games, and it's just going to be a fun time. And all of that was inspired, Tracy, from our National Homes Cootie Christmas. The actual Cootie Christmas, if you think about it, is actually taking place inside of the rec center, right? And there's games, there's food, there's Santa Claus. Like, it, that is what my inspiration when I was bringing that forward. Like,
I was gonna say, when you brought up fundraising, I have to say, for those that are looking for fundraising ideas, do not hesitate to go check out your local hotels and businesses, because our Pup Tent is sponsored by one particular hotel. They are a chain hotel, but they're also local. So we go check out the local hotel, and they sponsor us, and we now have a Cootie Bug on their ice machine because it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. They sponsor a lot of our stuff, and in return, sometimes we will go hang out at their hotel, and we will provide meals for those that are either working or staying at the hotel, because we
That's
have veterans
amazing.
staying at the hotels right outside the base. So don't hesitate to check out and see if you can get sponsorships and donations.
yes, very good. Well, it's been
Real quick, it does look like Robbie hopped on to comment that the Savannah Pup Tent does an annual water gun fight at a local recovery home as a fun idea that you can do with your centers, is do a water gun fight. Yeah.
that is pretty dope.
Right?
Hot summer day, water fight. You bet ya.
Mhm.
In Georgia,
Could, and there's a,
They
we've
sound
been
like they got
floating
it
the
right,
idea.
Dawn. Not
We've been floating the
no.
idea to do the antler game where you give them like a Nerf gun, and then the volunteers wear antlers to go deer hunting, or as we call it, the volunteer hunting game. Doing that with water guns would be really fun to get the volunteers to run around and get the veterans to shoot at them, because then we're not worrying about Nerf guns hitting their eyes or potentially damaging somebody. We could get, I mean, water guns are relatively danger free. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Right?
That does like sound like a lot of fun. I can't imagine, like, when you're going into do a nursing home hospital visit, and you got somebody with a Nerf gun, and I don't shoot the patient, right? You allow the patient to shoot you. So therefore, you could be engaging with them and be like, hey, I'm going to have 3 cooties. I need you guys to go to volunteer 1, volunteer 2, volunteer 3, right? You guys are going to walk back and forth across this. And you got the guy sitting in his bed because he can't get out, but he's sitting there shooting guys walking back and forth.
Hey,
Like
wouldn't
little
that count for CTG?
Absolutely, because it's a form of duck hunt.
That's right.
There you go.
Oh, that's funny. Well, Tracy, do you have anything else that you would like to share with us before we wrap things up?
I would just say that we have some really interesting creatures and characters that have come out in the last couple of months, with the ones that Dawn has put out there and the ones that I've put out there, and we have found a lot of comical relief, and it has really brought up some fun and some fellowship and camaraderie, and like, I don't know what Dawn's seeing, but I'm seeing a whole lot of excitement on our side about the 3 characters.
Yeah. It really is. Lady Smiles and Sir Mischief, they are popping up everywhere. And so be on the lookout for them, guys.
Yep.
In fact, Tracy,
Yes.
do you happen to have any?
I do.
I was wondering if you might have something to show.
Special super exclusive.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Oh,
Lady and Sir
snap.
right there.
I love
So
it.
I surprised Dawn, and I don't have my little guy right here at my desk, but when I made these guys, I asked the guy to make these as well. And so then this guy's 8 inches, but this little pair is 5. So I have a 5-inch Zertalk as well. And,
Amazing.
pictures with them.
Nice.
I will say that I heard a rumor that Lady Smiles and Sir Mischief are in Texas as well right now. So,
Oh.
yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. We'll have to see what kind of mischief they're getting into in Texas.
Right?
Yes.
And we're
We will.
seeing alien abductions in several states. I know they've been in Colorado recently, and Washington, and Arizona. They went through the senior vice training for the VFW. So yeah, we're having some fun, and I say that in the PHUN type. And yeah, so looking forward to what all comes about.
Love it.
Wonderful.
So we do got a game for this week coming up. So in a week, as you guys know, the way it works, we have our MOC Zoom. That means we're going to have a game night. All right. So first and third Mondays, we're going to have a game night. And then the second and fourth, like today's the second. So therefore, you're going to have the second and fourth Mondays. That's going to be our podcast. So we can put out information in between. But the cool thing is that game night, everybody's welcome to come and hang out. We got a browser game that we're going to play, and anybody can play this on their phone. They can join us on their computer if they got a tablet. You just got to go to this website, which we'll put it all out again. It's called scribble.io, and it's going to be like Pictionary. You're going to get given a choice of 3 words. You have to draw it out, and everybody has to guess what it is. And the person who, when you guess it, the computer's the one that gives the score. So it takes it takes the guesswork out of it as far as points. And the faster somebody is, the more points you get. It's kind of like when you would go to there's a restaurant called Ham's that used to be around here. I don't know if you guys had them around everywhere else. Might have been just local here, but they had these little, like the little things you could get from the bar, and it was like a little game pad, and you could sit there and play trivia games on the TV as it would go, and like similar to that, right? Where it's a very calm environment, very welcoming. It would be great.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Scribble.io. Yeah.
So we'll see y'all. Scribble.io.
Okay, gotcha.
We'll put it out on the Facebook page and make sure that everybody is able to find it. And we usually do Discord. The CTG Discord is what we usually utilize. We're all talking with one another, and it'll be a great time.
Yep. And just to let you guys know, one last thing, it's discord.gg/combat tested gaming. We hit our sponsors, PC Race Shop, VFW Foundation, Viking Bags, and Torch. And then partners, Helium, Omnic AI, Alexander PC, Ranger Up Coffee, Streamlabs, G Fuel, Cootie Coffee, and Combat Tested Gaming.
And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to all of our various channels so you don't miss anything.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yes, thanks for letting us come in and talk about our buddies and our program.
Anytime. So I think we're going to wrap up. Bye, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Boots on the ground, but we're off the clock. It's cool to trench talk. Yeah, we're sounding off with auxiliary spirit, never backing off. Yeah. From the front lines Here's to the VFW nights. We keep it loud, keep it proud, keep it tight. Cootie trench talk, let the good times roll. Got that heart, got that humor, got that soul. Lifting vests up, yeah, that's who we are. From the trenches to the mic, we've come this far. So raise that cup of Cootie milk high to the ones we lost and the ones nearby. We carry the torch, yeah, we keep it lit with a little mischief and a light of grit. So tune in, don't miss a beat. With service and laughter, always me. Cootie trench talk, pull up a chair. Auxiliary spirit, yeah, we're always there.